all the evidence that I have seen and experienced and all the feedback I get from teachers is positive. We've also had 2 or 3 major seminars on meditation and mental health, and the psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists and mental health workers who take part in these are all convinced that meditation is a natural, as it were, work, or natural way of allowing the self-healing to take place in the psyche. Particularly, especially, maybe necessarily, if there is a supportive environment. I think the classroom, the solidarity with the other children, the example the other children give to each other, creates an ideal learning environment for meditation. It's quite difficult, I think, for parents to teach meditation to their children. It's a little easier for grandparents to do it. But certainly it seems to me the classroom, the solidarity, the mutual reinforcement of the class, with a clear and sensitive teacher, it's the best possible formula you can have. And it seems to me, and psychiatrists I've spoken to about this would sort of reinforce what I say, or give me the strength to say, is that children today are exposed, as they always have been, I suppose, but maybe to particular forms and intensities of suffering, parental conflicts, separation, and as many other things. If they start meditating at an early age, they are opening themselves, we would say, to the healing power of the Spirit. They're in touch with the power of God within themselves. And they get this, they just experience it directly. It's not theoretical, it's experiential. The theory, I think, comes in later, or accompanies the experience, and later as they get older, they of course put the two together. But to begin with, it's very experiential, and 70% of children will say that they meditate on their own, outside the classroom, either in the back of the car, or in their room, or in the library, or wherever they happen to be. Especially, I think, that if they have had an upset, if something's making them sad, or hurt, or angry, they have an intuitive, instinctive feeling to go back to this place, this experience of the presence of God within themselves is healing and makes them feel better, basically. So I think by teaching them meditation now, if you take a long-term view of mental health, most mental health conditions that affect us later in life, in our 20s and later, and it gets worse, those conditions get more complicated as time goes on, as we get older. Most of them begin to show their first symptoms by the age of 13. So the roots of these patterns are very deep in our childhood. The earlier you intervene with meditation as a way of opening themselves, I think they're running off. Basically, they're not repressing it. In a safe environment and in a natural way, these memories, these hurts can be released or dealt with. I mean, we would say they simply come into the presence of God. So I think, I don't know how you can prove this, but it seems to me to make sense that we are actually intervening in the right way at the right time to prevent some of these traumas from developing into lifelong mental health conditions. And I don't think it erupts in a dangerous way in the classroom. If a child was, for example, I mean, this would happen in other circumstances, suffering abuse or something at home, that would probably come out, and you would deal with that as you would in any other circumstance.